Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishna. Om. Salutations to Bhagavan Ramakrishna. Class 11 of Approaching Meditation. And today, as promised, the theme is Trataka meditation. And as we proceed, you'll get the idea. What is Trataka? See, the key to yoga is meditation. Not the normal idea of meditation. It's something called dhyanam, profound meditation. That's the key to yoga. And then the key to meditation is concentration, obviously. And the key to concentration, well, it is attention. The key to attention is awareness. And the key to awareness is willpower. Well, that's what. Because the willpower can obstruct obstacles. And what is the key to willpower? Well, it can be many factors, but in a serious meditation life, the key is love or knowledge, a combination of both love and knowledge. One will have to love that particular object of meditation. That will bring us into a kind of a focus. Well, there are so many keys. Do we need all these keys? No, there is one master key. You can open all these doors. And that is Trataka. So this is the key to open doors till you reach the level of yoga. Trataka is a simple technique. It's used to still the mind. It's obvious. The mind is restless and that needs to be stilled. When people try to meditate with a restless mind, that restless mind itself will push them away from meditation. So that's the first step. So Trataka brings a kind of a stillness in the mind. The object can be, the books recommend a black dot or the tip of the nose or an image of a god or a goddess, even the moon. Any object which is pleasing to the eye and which can attract your attention. This is used because the eyes, a major part of our brain consists of the visual, you can say, centers. The brain is more involved in processing visual information. This is the key. So by using this visual apparatus, one can still the brain's random firing of neurons, as well as when there's a kind of a pattern to the firing, then the mind also becomes still. So it's an old simple technique. The Hatha Yoga Pradipika, that is the book on Hatha Yoga, says, looking intently with an unwavering gaze at a point till the eyes begin to water. You've got to hold your gaze without blinking. Yeah, that's a kind of a reflex action, but then in time you can practice and gaze at the flame or anything unblinkingly. Okay. So why is this? In meditation, the yoga aphorisms say, in order to reduce distractions, the study of one subject has to be made. Subject in the sense an object, one has to continuously meditate on one. You can't meditate on 10 different objects 10 days or at one particular time. You will be dissipating your energies. So when you focus on one object over and over and over again, what we get is a kind of a fine tuning of the mind. It may seem very passive, I just sit down and gaze. No, it appears passive, but it is extremely active. It brings clarity to the mind. Because when you focus, that focus itself brings tremendous clarity, because all other thoughts are kind of quelled for the moment. Okay, so the general instructions are keep an object at arm's length at eye level. It shouldn't be too bright, because for obvious reasons. And also they recommend, in case you have any kind of diseases of the eye, anything, then it's better not to use a flame, but use a kind of a neutral object, a black dot possibly, to focus, and keep it at a kind of a safe distance. So this is the general recommendations for it. Okay. This practice, of course, can be employed in every other field that you are engaged in work or play, in a profession, wherever, whatever. Your attention will become unwavering, focused. So this same instrument, which is now being refined, which is kind of being made one-pointed, can be employed in all fields. And this is an advantage of practicing meditation and yoga. It brings a perfect equilibrium to all the activities. You do everything as yoga, as the Bhagavad Gita also recommends. Yogastha kuru karmatvam. That is, you do all works in the spirit of yoga. That is what it means. Okay. As we have been using some props from the last few classes, we are going to reuse another prop which you are most of you are familiar. Now you can see in one of the classes on the 6th class, which was on reflective powers of the mind. I had mentioned you can see the flame. There. You can see the flame, as well as you can see the reflection of that flame. For those who are this side, yeah, it's obvious. Okay. Now, in that class I had said you can do two things at one time. Meditate with your eyes open, as well as watch that object of meditation inside. It's like, you read something, at the same time you can visualize what you're reading. That's a reflexive power of the mind. And this power is inherent in all minds. In yoga, this becomes extremely helpful if it is harnessed. So I want you to look at this flame as well as look at this reflection to understand what's happening. Okay. Now, just watch this flame and at the same time, with your eyes open, watch that flame within in your mind. You are doing two things at one time. Watching the flame, at the same time holding a mental image of that flame inside. If you can do it, there it is. I think this is clear. You could do it? Of course, everybody can do it here. Now, once again, gaze at this flame. Now close your eyes and gaze at that flame within. As the image becomes hazy or it starts fading, reopen your eyes and gaze at the flame again. Open your eyes and gaze at that flame again for a while. Really gaze at it. Now close your eyes and watch that flame inside. Okay, relax. Now this method, the first is the dual perception. You can do it anywhere you are. Suppose you're traveling, you're not driving of course, but you're sitting down in the car and, or maybe just sitting down and not doing anything particular. You can keep your eyes open and visualize an object or an image or any idea in two ways. With the eyes open, you can gaze at it. At the same time, you can just visualize it in the mind. Second, the other method is the classical method. Gaze at it for a length of time, close your eyes and watch that mental image. And as it begins to slightly fade, reopen your eyes, focus once again and close. You can do this on and on and on. It's an extremely powerful method. This is one of the most powerful tools used for concentration and willpower and like the rest also. So, this classical method is, as the yoga, Hatha Yoga Pradipika says, you must be able to gaze at that till there is a slight ache at the back of your eyes, and all the tears start kind of slowly filling the eyes. You don't need to go that far. You don't need to cry over anything. But it's, you gaze at it unblinkingly, then close your eyes and watch that same image there shining inside. This is the classical method. Okay? And as you keep on practicing, what happens is you can extend the visualization, internal visualization, for a longer and longer and longer time. It has to be sharp and distinct. So, you will need to have the necessity of less opening and gazing at that flame, but you will be able to hold it. So, those who have an object of meditation, say the image of a god or a goddess or whatever, a symbol Om, you can use that. It is not absolutely necessary that you use your candle flame. This is meant for illustrative purposes only. Okay. But for beginners, I would recommend any sharp shining object. That is because it grabs your attention. The third method is a variation of this same thing. It's like, okay, gaze at this object here. Okay. Now, shift your attention to the candle. Now, close your eyes and gaze at that image within. Okay. Okay, relax. This you are getting the hang of it. We don't start immediately gazing at the candle. So, what happens is you focus on a kind of a semi-distant object, or maybe a wall or something like that, and then you shift your attention or your focus or your gaze to this object around you. That helps. Another variation in this practice itself is, okay, gaze at this candle once again, flame. Now, close your eyes, please. Now, zoom the flame in. See that the flame gets larger and larger as it approaches you. And place that flame between the center of your eyebrows or the center of your chest. Okay, relax, you can open your eyes. So, the idea is the size of the flame, the mental image of the flame becomes larger and larger and larger that as you zoom in. And there are variations, you can zoom out also. You can zoom in and zoom out, either here or here. I would recommend here, of course, but there are some who will do it here. Recommend. So, zoom in and zoom out that mental image. Okay. Once again, gaze at this. I'll give you another method. Yeah, if this is clear. Like, keep on gazing. Sri Ramakrishna used to also meditate like this. So the yellow part of the flame, he used to see it as the gross body. The red part of the flame, probably you don't see it clearly, but the red part, that's a subtle body. And the blue part of the flame is the causal body. And the wick is individual consciousness. Okay, you get this idea? Now, when I will ask you to meditate on that flame, run your thoughts from outside, yellow, red, blue, because the blue is the hottest part, it's inside, and till the wick. So the gross body, subtle body, causal body, and individual consciousness. Yes, do it now. The yellow part of the flame is the gross body. The red part is the subtle body. The blue inside part of the flame is the causal body. And the wick is individual consciousness. Now imagine your entire body is a flame. You have a gross body. Within it is the subtle body. Within the subtle body is the causal body. And your individual consciousness is that wick. Your entire body is now likened to a flame. Okay. Take a long deep breath, please, and open your eyes. Yeah, we could go on and on and on and on. This, the last exercise we did, is the culmination of this practice. So you don't end and start only at that flame. Now the flame has become you. It is your three bodies plus your individual consciousness. This will transform your own consciousness into things, how the entire, not only the eyes are focused, now the entire, your body and your consciousness and everything is focused. Okay. This much for now. I think we can dispense with this. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Is it okay if during japa we open our eyes to see the image of the object of meditation when we feel our mind wavering? Oh yes, this is one of the reasons why this whole class was devoted to. Because the mind is running about, fix it in one place. And if you can fix it, your job is done. Whether your eyes are open, and as I said, practice with your eyes open, you are watching the image of the deity. At the same time, you are watching that same image in your mind. If you can get this, please do it. Yes.
I'm not sure how to line all that up.
Yeah, the question is, how do we line up these three bodies, the three levels, when we are meditating on, say, the image of Sri Ramakrishna? So how do we go about it? And then how do we line up this kind of meditation with all that everything is Brahman? I think it's okay. Okay, yeah. Now you can use the same meditation. You can, the image of any deity, any god or goddess, this is the first door. You enter and there's a second deeper dimension within. And then you enter and there's a deeper dimension of the same deity within. It's like, you open one door and then you enter a corridor and then you see another door at the end of the corridor. You open that door and then you see there's a long corridor. At the end of the corridor, there's another door, and you proceed. So when you are meditating on a deity intensely, the first image is just the front door, as they say. The door opens and you enter, and then another door opens, and another door opens. Sometimes you need to push the door open. Sometimes as you approach, the door opens. This is grace. And you're drawn into it. Then you will find your own individual consciousness melting into the consciousness of the deity. And then you can say, yeah, that's Brahman. Yeah, that's Brahman. So you've left the gross, the subtle and the causal aspects behind, and you have gone down to the heart of the universe or reality. Okay? Is this okay? Yeah, there it is. You can also, for purposes like, we are asked to meditate on the deity from the feet upwards, the feet, the legs, the torso, the hands, and this. It's like you come down again to the feet, and again you go up again, over and over. So this is one of the meditation, you can say, instructions we give. You can also meditate on it from the outer fringes. You come inside slowly and more inside till you come down, as if you are meditating on the heart of Sri Ramakrishna, and you are plunging inside. This is one of the meditations I will be taking later, because this thing will, I think, this series, I think, should continue for some time. So one of those. So from the fringes you come inside, or you can from the feet you go up, and as you go higher and higher, feel the level of consciousness is increasing, like Sri Ramakrishna's consciousness is. That is also another way. Like seeing the flame becoming oneself, can we see the object of meditation becoming me, or I am within the image? Oh yes. In Swami Vivekananda, while one of his talks in Harvard, one of the questions was, so the subject merges in the object? They said, no, the object merges in the subject. So that object that you are meditating upon, that merges there within you. You feel an identification first. As you keep on meditating, except love or knowledge of the object will make you identified with it. And as the identification grows and grows and grows and grows, you feel identified with it. In fact, that is the culmination of meditation. Yeah, that's a great. So yes, seeing the flame becoming oneself, we can see the object of meditation becoming me. So if you are meditating on, say, Holy Mother, so can you become identified with? Yeah, of course. That will revolutionize your mind. Try it out, practice it. So, or like I said, becoming me, or I am within that image. You can do it both ways. Think of yourself as a part or a cell in the body of Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, or Swamiji. Like the image merges into you and you feel now you are a part, just a small part of that image. That also. So, but in that case, you will have to hold that image within for an extended period of time. And then you will be able to feel that you are a part of, which in reality you are. We all are parts of that reality. So, as you keep on meditating, it becomes more and more real to you. Yeah, that's the idea. As you keep on meditating on the particular object over and over and over, that object becomes real. Like anything, suppose I see something outside, or I've experienced something. The more I think about it, the more real it becomes. Instead of that memory leaving me or fading or becoming neutralized, that thing has become real. And if it's a good memory, I feel good. If it's a bad memory, I feel miserable. That's what the whole thing is. Is it best to stick to one image? Of course. Don't go in for multiple images. The idea is stick to one image. And as you've gained some mastery over one image, then you can meditate on any image. But first you must develop a mastery over meditating on one image, the idea. Okay, think, yeah.
Why can't you blink when you're looking at the image?
The question was, why can't you blink when you're looking at it? Yeah, they say don't blink. You blink, you lose. But I'm just trying to be humorous. But the question is a valid question. Initially, you'll blink because I said this is the kind of reflex action. You don't have any control over it. These doctors are there, they will tell you. There are certain functions, sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, you don't have any control over it. So, you'll blink. But as you proceed, you can stay focused and you will stop blinking.
It's so close to consciousness.
Yeah, that's a nice question. So the question was, like, the blue part of the flame is nearest to individual consciousness, and that's supposed to be full of knowledge, and ignorance should be at the outskirts, at the far end of the spectrum. How come this is called ignorance? You have consciousness and you have ignorance. This is Maya, they say. Because right now, in this state of mind, we cannot say we know the reality. What makes us say this? At the same time, we know that there is consciousness. So, consciousness associated with ignorance or Maya or Prakriti or nature is what has been thought in Vedanta as the cause of this entire manifested universe. So, this is the doctrine in Advaita Vedanta. Seemingly it appears like if you have, suppose you have a sun, the sun is shining brightly, and then a patch of cloud comes and obscures the sun. So, do you think that sun is obscured by a small patch of cloud? So, similarly, this causal body comes in, but that very sun has given rise to the knowledge of that cloud. If there was no sun, you would not even know that there was a cloud. So, that way, so what is this? This is that inscrutable Maya. It has made the infinite finite. And that's why they say, what's the cause of this universe that we see? Because when you see this universe, we see this universe now. We don't see the reality. And what is the cause of that? Ignorance. Now, where is it? It has been with you. But I discard my gross body whenever I try to go to another place. Yeah. So, okay. But then I have a subtle body. Yeah, that even then, deeper down, what's the cause of the subtle body? That is ignorance. That is why. Okay. Yeah, do you have another question? Yes, please.
So you said anything that we do should be like yoga or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, can you give a practical example?
Okay. Yeah. Anything we do in life should be done like a yoga. That's a teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Yogastha kuru karmatvam. So, yoga karmashu kaushalam. What is yoga? Skill in action. Yoga is you do everything to the sense of yoga. So, what is yoga? Yoga is concentration, ultra concentration, deep meditation. So, when you practice, say, this Trataka, and your mind can get focused on an object for a length of time, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. Yes, you can do it. It's amazing. It's a tremendous. So, that power of concentration can be used in your day-to-day life. Suppose you are studying something. The entire concentration is brought to bear on your studies, on your play, on your work, anything. That's what it is meant as. You should work as yoga. People don't do it, of course, but then this is the secret. People say, I'm busy with hundreds of things. Please be even more busier. But do it through concentration. If you can do it, there it is. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.